This is one of my favorite topics. If you are not interested or just actually hate the idea of personality types, you might want to skip this one. But if you're not familiar, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, and Enneagram are two very popular personality types. And it's not like a magazine quiz. It's something that professional organizations use to understand the cognitive function of their employees so that they can understand how dynamics between people and who might work well together and if their teams are balanced. So you're not getting groupthink where everybody has the same kind of wiring and sees things in the same way. And when I learned about this about 5 years ago, it just blew my mind. It really explained why when you try to follow the golden rule of treat people like you would like to be treated, it doesn't always work out because people don't want to be treated like you want to be treated. For example, I think the really strongest, most pervasive example is the sandwich method of giving feedback is recommended for a lot of people. That if you're going to give a critique, you say, you know what, I can see that I really appreciate how dedicated you are to your work. I would like you to insert feedback thing you'd like them to change, and then add something on the end. And I think you're a great teammate. And that can really help soften the blow because critique can be challenging for a lot of people to receive. Now, some types, they see that as patronizing, like just give it to me straight, just be direct, and they get really frustrated when people beat around the bush and they might not put value on that type of dialogue. And neither one is right or wrong. That's the biggest point here. It's just understanding how people operate. And some people see giving criticism, like taking the time to critique someone, as a gift to them. I think you are worth my time of speaking these words and investing in you because I believe that you have potential to do better. But not everybody sees it that way. So the more I learn about it and understand it, the more it helps me be better at navigating situations, which made it really interesting when there was the situation a couple of years, the past few years that I couldn't navigate well. I really struggled, and it caused me to learn more about myself and my reactions. So what I find interesting for me personally is I am an ENFJ, which is the term for that is the protagonist. So I want to be the hero, the motivator, the teacher, the coach, and I thrive on harmony, on getting buy-in, on people feeling good, and that is a number one goal for me. Is harmony is the word that I live by. On top of that, I'm an Enneagram 9, and one of our defining characteristics is we are extremely conflict averse. We see conflict as a rupture in a relationship. Something has gone very wrong if there's conflict, and it is super uncomfortable and scary, and it feels unsafe, to be honest. The unsafe part comes more from childhood, and feeling like a rupture with your parents is unsafe. And as a child of 6 kids in the family, it did feel unsafe. If a parent was upset with you, they could easily turn their attention towards a different child and give them the attention, and you feel left out. And that's not intentional, it just is. And being a middle child too, feeling like I need to be the mediator and please and keep harmony in the family. It is a perfect storm of needing everybody to be happy and okay and in alignment and in agreement. And that's beautiful. And again, a quality that nobody calls you out for, but it can be so painful when you're in a situation where there is conflict or there is people with differing opinions and you're just not going to get alignment. You're not going to find a way to get people to agree and feel good about it. And I hate that. And and again, I've said, the universe will give you the lessons you need to now have a supervisor that was really difficult to please and would fixate on sometimes what seemed like the smallest thing. and it would become just this hurdle that I had to overcome. And I guess I could have just said, no, we're not doing it like that, which actually I have evidence that when I did that in the beginning, thinking we had a certain kind of dynamic where I could say no, that was not well received. So I guess that wasn't a totally unfounded belief. So I just had to try to figure out not what's the best way to do my job, but how do I please this person so we can move on. And I adapted in strange ways that were not the best professionally, but just felt like survival. But all that aside, like I don't want to use any of that as excuses, but it's helpful for me to reflect on why I did that and why that was the coping strategy that I chose, and to really be aware. I need more evidence as time goes on that having a disagreement with someone is not devastating. And it's on me too, because when I have a disagreement with someone, like, they're dead to me. And it's a little dramatic, but like, I feel uncomfortable with that person now. Like, we're not cool like we were before. That's harsh. That's something that I really want to work through. It also, like, it takes me a lot to get to that point. I'm not out here just like, oh, I don't like that person and they said that the wrong way. Like, it really takes a lot, but I get there, and it's not healthy all the time. And I need to like get comfortable with conflict. And it's happened lately. So an example is, there was something I really did not like at work that happened, and I decided, rather than stew about it for days or weeks like I used to, just talk to my husband and fret and be angry in my head, I went in and addressed it. And not only addressed it with someone not involved in the situation, addressed it with that person. Because that's another thing you can do when you don't like conflict, is start to triangulate. Like, I'm going to tell this person so that they fight my battle for me. No. And even though it was something that I knew might make people uncomfortable, I did it. And it actually worked out well. I was respected for it. It didn't seem to damage the relationship. It caused the person to be like, oh, I'm sorry, and to do better. And that just blew my mind. I couldn't believe they didn't hate me and think I was the worst, and now I'm difficult to work with. That was really powerful. The other thing, and this one's a little more metaphysical, but I did do my human design. Like, you put in the date and time you were born, the location, and you get your human design type. And I'm a projector. And for projectors, there's a lot here, but the piece I'm focusing on right now is this idea of waiting for the invitation. So we can have wisdom in a certain area, but if we try to push that wisdom on people, it won't be well received. It needs to come from it needs to be received by people that are ready to hear it and want to hear it. And I think innately I'm someone that I don't get off on pushing my ideas on other people, on like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to convince everybody. That's like, I like motivating and offering reasons for people to get on board in a gentle way, but I won't push and like walk out of there like I won, knowing people don't feel good. That's not my style. And that is another like perfect storm of just not, I don't do well with people I need to bulldog. Like, you got to go in there and be a baddie. You got to be tough. And like, I think being like the spicy woman is great. The one that just like doesn't put up with any nonsense and she's going to get her way and she's the spicy one. Like, I admire that. I don't think that's ever going to be me. And I'm trying to calibrate when, like, there's some things I feel very strongly about, don't get me wrong, that I'm not going to back down on, but those are so few and far between, especially when it comes to work. Like, my goal, like I said, more than it needs to be done this way, this is a sacred cow, I will die on this hill, is the tone and the feeling and how everybody feels about it is more important than the actual thing. That statement could drive someone crazy who does not is not feeling based, it is more logic based. Like, that's the dumbest thing they've ever heard, but it's how I am, and I cannot unsee the value of having people on board with your ideas. Even if it's not logical, it will make your life so much easier. So there's a lot here, and I think to sum this all up, even if you like take all the personality tests out of it, just the self-awareness that I have that these are my motivations is harmony. I need to get more comfortable with not having harmony and not seeing that as a danger, because it sends up all the red flags on my nervous system. Danger, danger, problem, problem. And I freak out when I feel like there's conflict, and that's not helpful or necessary or even the truth. And it's just so much wasted energy on that discomfort that I really want to call that out more. So again, thank you for listening. Honestly, I'm already feeling like I look forward to, at the end of the night, what is the thing I'm going to talk about tomorrow? What's bothering me? And it's taking things out of the shadow that I was trying to ignore or stuff down or hope weren't a thing. It's almost like, let me get in there. What else can I dig up? Because I want to talk about it with you. So it's already having a positive effect, and I'm only 4 days away from my menstrual part of my cycle, which usually I'm just a basket case and having dark thoughts, and I don't feel that way. I just feel introspective in the best way. So thank you. I'll keep you posted.